He's such a hypocrite. Oh, I'm getting so mad. Well, hello peoples of the internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, we are starting my new series. As you guys may have known, or may have seen, I did a Twilight series where I read basically Twilight for the very first time. I read through all of the books. I also read other books by Stephanie Meyer, such as The Host and then the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight. And a lot of you guys in the comments of those videos all said, oh, I really hope you do this with another series when you're finished with Twilight. And I was like instantly thinking, yes, I want to do this again because it was so much fun to do and I really enjoyed this style of videoing. And I was like thinking, what could I do? What should I do? Like, should I do another popular YA series? Should I do something else that was also to do with vampires? Like, what could I do? But one particular book series kept coming up in my comments and I just knew when I saw the comments, that is the one. That is what I have to do. And it also links back into Twilight because if you do not know, and also you've seen from the title and the thumbnail, you know what book I'm talking about. We are reading 50 Shades of Grey for the first time and I am terrified. And if you don't know, the reason this ties back into Twilight is because 50 Shades of Grey is fan fiction of Twilight. I did not know this for the longest time. I literally only recently found out this and I am honestly shook because I never knew this. So once again, like with Twilight, I have seen all of the 50 Shades of Grey movies and I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I didn't enjoy the movies because I did. They were a guilty pleasure. I enjoyed the movies. Are they the best things in the world? Absolutely not. Like, no, they are not the best movies out there, but they're a guilty pleasure and I just can't help but like them. And also, I'm just a sucker for like Jamie Dornan, like, we stan, love him. And I know for a fact that the books are supposed to be way worse than the movies, so... And I've just always heard things about like certain scenes in the book and like, I'm just... I don't think I'm ready to read it. So like, as I was saying, when all the movies and stuff were coming out and when I went to go see them and everything, I never knew that they were Twilight fan fiction. Like, how did I not know this? So when I found it out, of course I was shook, and now I was like, this is perfect. I could just read 50 Shades of Grey because I just did Twilight. What a great segue into a new series. Like, we're still kind of on the Twilight vibe, but going into something else, if that makes sense. So like, we love that. And I have got it here. I don't know why I decided to read this. Like, is this video even going to be monetizable? Probably not, but you know what? We're doing it for the content. We're doing it for the fun. We're doing it for the laughs and the giggles. That's what we're doing it for. So, let's have a look. That broke. And that broke too. Wow. The tab on the book is breaking just like my will be when I'm reading this book. Here she is. 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. I'm so nervous to be reading this, especially because my parents know I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey. Like, when I'm reading this throughout the day and like my parents are just seeing me because we're all in quarantine, like everyone's at home, they know what I'm reading. They can probably imagine the scenes that I am reading and like have an idea as to what I am consuming into my brain. And that really concerns me and makes me uncomfortable, but once again, content. So yeah, like I have done with all of the other series when I was doing my Twilight one, I always do a cover analysis, and this is just basically a tie. Because I know that, what's his name again? Christian. Christian is like a businessman, this is his tie. There's not really anything that this cover symbolizes, to be honest. Like, there's not really anything to discuss. So it's 514 pages long. This is gonna be a long journey, but also this is a very mature book, so be warned, there is gonna be mature content in this video. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's see where this is gonna go. I am like laughing because I'm like so nervous and so uncomfortable already about certain scenes I probably will read. Here we go. Why am I doing this? Okay guys, it's time to start reading, and honestly, like, my last two brain cells in this quarantine are just like, Kevin, what has made you do this? I want to do it, I'm here for it, so it's time to go. The Mail on Sunday said, the book that made women want to have sex again. T. Here we go, chapter 1. Okay, so basically nothing really has happened only on page 7, but Anna has gone to meet Mr. Grey. Like, she's gone to interview him for her friend Catherine, which I didn't know. I didn't know she was doing it for her friend, so that's something that I didn't remember. But I got the iconic line from the movie, Mr. Grey will see you now. Yes, he will. I'm still on the same page. I'm still on page 7. And Anna, I already know is going to irritate me in this book like Bella. And now I understand how this could be like a Twilight fanfiction, because Bella and Anna have very similar things where they are both clumsy. Because the first thing she does, Anna is now going in to see Mr. Grey, because it was like, Mr. Grey will see you now. And it goes, I push open the door and stumble through, tripping over my own feet and falling headfirst into the office. Fine, it's fine. It's fine. She's just clumsy. Like, you know, maybe she's nervous. That's why she fell. Like, she's not gonna be that clumsy throughout the whole book. Okay, I finished the first chapter and honestly, it wasn't too bad. Like, I actually enjoyed the first chapter. Like, I loved the sexual tension that was there. I know that there's not going to be sexual tension for much longer in this book because we all know where it's going. There was definitely sexual tension there, I felt it, but also Anna was very annoying at times, how she just kept saying the same things over and over and over again. Like, she kept saying, oh, he's just very, very good looking, and then very, very good looking. He's very, very good looking. I was like, okay, we get it. You think he's very, very good looking. But like, just talk about his features, like his face, describe him, and let us believe he is very good looking instead of telling us that he's very good looking. Okay, so I'm up to page 28 and I'm already getting this fight with Stevie and I'm like, woo, flustered here. Basically, Anna is working in her, what is it, like a department store? No, like a hardware store basically is where she's working. And Mr. Grey came and he's basically buying all of these things. Like, he looked for like cable ties, then he looked for some rope, then he looked for some masking tape. All very sexual things and also very murderous things. Much to discuss there. Then Mr. Grey asked Anna, like, what would you recommend I buy? And she was like, oh, some coveralls. And she was like, you wouldn't want to ruin your clothing. I gesture vaguely in the direction of his jeans. And then Mr. Grey says, I could always take them off. He smirks. This is me. I'm like, whoo, this is so early. And we're just going to take a minute. We're going to take a minute, okay? Let's continue. Okay, I'm noticing something that like makes it obvious that Anna is like a fan fiction of Bella, because so far I have just finished chapter 2 and I'm now at page 32, and Anna has said that she has bit her lip several times, and that is something we all know Bella likes to do in Twilight. She bites her lip all the time, and so does Anna. I'm seeing the Twilight fanfictions part. The fact I never knew this, that honestly baffles me, how I never knew that 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfiction. Okay, and now I'm on page 43, and Mr. Grey wants to know what Anna is thinking, because he's like, you're so mysterious, I can never know what you're thinking. And I'm like, oh my god, Edward, because he can't read Bella's mind. This is honestly just blowing my mind. Okay, and now I'm on page 48. I just finished chapter 3, and Anastasia just like fell onto the road and nearly got hit by a cyclist, but Mr. Grey caught her and saved her. This is Twilight, and Edward saving Bella from getting hit by the car. Okay, so basically what has just been happening, Anna has finished her exams because she's in college and stuff, and she finished all of her exams, and her friends have gone to a bar, they've gotten drunk and stuff, and Anna, as you're drunk, called up Christian Grey, and she was like talking to him because he sent her these first editions of like really classic books that are like worth thousands of dollars, and he sent them to her as like a congratulation present for finishing her exams basically. So she rang him up drunk and she was like, why did you send me these books? And he was like, what is wrong with you? You don't sound right. And she's like, I'm drunk. And he was basically like, where are you? I need to find where you are. And she was like, I'm at a bar, just some bar. And he was like, where are you? I need to know exactly. And I'm like, okay, calm down, sir. It's not that deep. So then basically she hung up on him and he rang her back saying he was coming to get her. So then she has decided to go outside because she wants some fresh air because she's drunk. And honestly, don't know why Anna would do that, because I know from personal experience, if I am drunk and then I go outside to get fresh air, I get drunker. So don't see how that was helping. But anyway, she goes outside and her friend Jose comes out to talk with her, and basically he starts saying how much he likes her and stuff, and he starts grabbing her and like he's going to try to kiss her, and she's saying no, and he's just not listening to consent. Why are men such trash? Then she is saying no basically, and where is it? She goes, Jose, no, I plead, I don't want this, you are my friend and I think I'm going to throw up. And then I think the lady said no. A voice in the dark says quietly, holy shit, Christian Grey, he's here. I'm catching feelings. I'm catching feelings. Now guys, you need to bear this in mind that when I am reading this, I am picturing Jamie Dornan, okay? Just remember that, because I love Jamie Dornan. And I do know that my opinion of Mr. Grey is probably going to change by the end of this book. But as of page 59, when he showed up to save Anna from getting a kiss that was not consensual, I was catching feelings. I need that to be noted in record. I was catching feelings.
A few moments later.
Okay, and so my hatred towards Christian Grey is beginning. So I'm on page 67, and basically Anastasia has woken up in Christian's hotel room from when she was really drunk and stuff, and he says, I need to take a moment because I'm already getting so angry with this boy. It's not even a boy, it's a man. Basically, she says, are you going to scold me? And he says, is that what I'm doing? I think so. You're lucky I'm just scolding you. And then Anastasia says, what do you mean? And he says, well, if you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week after the stunt you pulled yesterday. You didn't eat, you got drunk, you put yourself at risk. Oh. Who does he think he is? It's fine. It's absolutely fine. What is a medulla oblongata? What is that?
What is that?
She says, my heartbeat has picked up and my medulla oblongata has neglected to fire any synapses to make me breathe. What is the medulla? I feel stupid. Siri, what is a medulla oblongata?
Here's what I found.
The medulla oblongata, or simply medulla, is a long stem-like structure which makes up part of the brainstem. Okay, so it's a structure of the brainstem. Okay, I did not do well in biology in school, so that explains why I don't know what that is. Okay guys, so now they're having breakfast, and so Mr. Grey was just like, I need you to finish all your food. I have an issue about wasting food or whatever. And Anna basically finishes all her food. And then he says, good girl, I'll take you home when you've dried your hair. I don't want you getting ill. It's just so patronizing. I don't like the way he's treating her like an object. And now Anastasia just used his toothbrush because she said, and I quote, I eye Christian's toothbrush. It would be like having him in my mouth. I feel the bristles on the toothbrush. They are damp. He must have used it already. Grabbing it quickly, I squirt toothpaste on it and brush my teeth in double time. I feel so naughty. It's such a thrill. Ew. Okay, so I'm at the part where they're going to have the introduction of the contract, I believe. But first, Christian is bringing Anastasia back to Seattle in his helicopter and stuff. And I believe that this is the part in the movie where Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding plays. So, just to set the mood for myself, I'm going to play the song while I read this part of the book. It just seems right. This song is such a bop. Let's not lie here, people. Okay, I'll pick the one that's literally, you know, has 50 Shades of Grey in it, you know? I have to play that. Now, obviously I'm not going to let it be heard because copyright, but I am going to be listening to it while I read this next chapter. and the song's over and they're getting ready to land. So like it lasted like the full moment. Like we love that. Okay, so Anastasia just said something that I feel is really funny. Basically they're in Christian's house now and he's offered like wine and stuff. And then he says, "You're very quiet and you're not even blushing. In fact, I think this is the palest I've ever seen you, Anastasia." He murmurs, "Are you hungry?" I shake my head, "Not for food." We love that. She's embracing her inner thirst and I love to see it because it's relatable to me. Okay, so he's brought out the NDA and I forgot it actually is an NDA and not a contract, because I know like a lot of famous people have you sign NDAs so that you don't talk about them. I never realized before it was an NDA. I just always thought it was a contract to being like a submissive. I thought that's what she was signing, but clearly it's an NDA. Oh my god, this quote was in the movie and I don't know why I'm finding it funnier in the book, but it's the fact she just goes, "Does this mean you're going to make love to me tonight, Christian?" And then he says, "No, Anastasia, it doesn't. First, I don't make love, I fuck hard. Second, there's a lot more paperwork to do." Oh, okay. That she is gonna read more paperwork. Never mind. I was thinking that she was after signing that, not knowing what she was getting herself into, but clearly that's not what she just signed. Okay guys, so it is nighttime now and I'm in bed and I got up to page 125 and I'm up to chapter 9 and basically they have had sex for the first time. It took about 100 or so pages to get into it before it finally started happening, so kind of surprised to be honest, because what I hear about this book I expected it to happen a lot sooner, but it has happened. Before it happened, basically, like Christian brought up like the new contract and like the thing that like Anna had to agree to about being the submissive and the dominant kind of thing. Like he was going through like all different things that he can't do to her and what she can do to him. And like there was one part in it where like he controls what she eats and how often she works out. Just no. Imagine someone telling me, "Oh, you need to work out 3 times a week." I'd be like, "Oh, not gonna work. I'm gonna have McDonald's." Oh my god, McDonald's. It's really upsetting me that I haven't had McDonald's in so long because it's still closed with quarantine. And I understand why it's closed. Like I respect McDonald's decision for looking out for their workers and everything. I completely understand, but I really want chicken nuggets. Anyways, so it then got on to like him saying, "Oh, is there anything that you don't want me to be able to do? Like any conditions that you don't want?" And she actually did say how like she doesn't want to work out 3 times a week. So we love that. Like, well done. We're standing up, Anna. We stand. And he was also just talking about like sexual kind of stuff. Like what don't you like? What do you like and stuff, so that we know what you don't want to do. Like what are your limits? And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And then she says that she's a virgin. And Christian was not happy about that. He got so pissed. And I'm just like, it's not that deep. So they're in the bath and they're washing each other and stuff, and everything's obviously sexual because they're naked in the bath and whatever. And so basically he's turning around in the bath because he's been doing stuff with her or whatever, and he says, "I want you to become well acquainted on first name terms, if you will, with my favorite and most cherished part of my body. I'm very attached to this." He's talking about his penis. But what's the name, Christian? I've continued reading. I see no name. What is his name? Okay guys, so it's actually the next night. I actually didn't vlog anything today. I kind of had like a very lazy day. I barely read anything, but I am now up to page 207 and I'm on chapter 13, or about to start chapter 13 anyways, so I'm about that part through. And so I have some updates, and let's digress this, shall we? I swear to God, if Anastasia says, oh my, one more time, I am going to lose my shit. She keeps saying, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, constantly. It is so annoying. And another thing, she will not shut up talking about her inner goddess. I'm all for us all having our inner goddesses. Like, love that for everybody. Like, we all deserve that, and we all have our inner goddesses, and you know, they need to shine. But it does not need to be mentioned every single time he just touches you or like does anything, or like you're just like, my inner goddess is so happy with me, and like I'm just like, can you stop talking about your inner goddess? Anyways, so basically what has happened since I last spoke to you is Anastasia has like fully read the contract, and like I did not realize I was going to be fully reading the contract because it literally gives you the whole contract in the book. She has basically just told him like all of her different terms that she is not agreeing to in the contract. And not gonna lie, I really like that she stood up for herself for a lot of the different things, because like she was saying how in the contract, like there was a trial period of how long they're going to do this for 3 months, but she's saying she wants it to be a 1 month trial. She's supposed to be with him every weekend. She's saying that's not happening. Like 3 out of the 4 weeks of a month you can have me, like 1 week I'm getting to myself because I have a life. And I'm like, we kind of stand. And she's also like saying like, I'm not eating food from a prescribed list. The food list goes or I do. And I'm, ugh. I am loving that she's like saying, I'm not doing this, not doing that, not doing this. Love that. Okay guys, so it's the next morning and I actually got up to page 256 last night, and they are still going through this contract. I'm honestly starting to get bored. Like, and this is a book full of many different things, but like I'm starting to get really bored. Like, I'm over halfway. Like, where, no, I'm not gonna say where is all the stuff because I know it's coming and I will hate myself when it gets to that point. But like, honestly, like I'm kind of bored. Like, I'm done with this contract at this point. I'm like, just, I know she ends up signing it, so I'm like, just, can you just sign it, get everything over with? Like, just, come on, move on. Anna has now graduated from college and stuff, and like they're talking about after graduating and how she wants to work in publishing, and I also want to work in publishing. But anyways, she is talking about like the different things that like are in the soft limits that she's opposed to, and so this is the line. Anal intercourse doesn't exactly float my boat, is what Anastasia says. And then Christian says, I'll agree to the fisting, but I'd really like to claim your ass, Anastasia. But we'll wait for that. Besides, it's not something we can dive into. Your ass will need training. Ain't that the truth? It's just sometimes I'm just like forget what I'm reading and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Now I remember I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey. Also, my hair right now, what is going on? Like, my hair, guys, is not doing too great in this quarantine. I need a barber's, but it's fine. I can wear hats and stuff, but like, what is this look? I have a little fringe. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Let's keep the hood on. Let's keep the hood on. Okay, so I'm up to page 350 now, and Christian's irritating me because his possessiveness is honestly so disgusting, and like I know that's a major thing with 50 Shades of Grey, like I knew that going into it, but it's so disgusting because number one, she has not signed this contract to becoming a submissive. She has not signed it yet, and we're 350 pages in. It has not been signed, and the way he is acting, I'm like, she hasn't signed it. And it's pissing me off the way he's acting, because he's acting as if she has signed it, but she hasn't. And it's that, like, that's just pissing me off. He's mad at her because they were at like a dinner at their family's house and she met his sister, Mia, which by the way, I'm seeing Mia as like Alice from Twilight. Like I'm getting that vibe. So they're at that dinner and everything. And he tried to like touch her while they were having dinner and she closed her legs. And he's now mad about that because he's like, no one's ever said no to me before. And he's like, it's so hot having you say no. And I'm like, how is no to the consent sexual, like attractive to you? This boy. This is not even a boy, this is a man, 27-year-old man. He finds no attractive. But anyways, so he's now having sex with her out in their bow house or something because he's so mad, and he's like, oh, you need to be punished for not letting me have you. Like, tell me how. She said no, and then he's like, oh, now you need to be punished. That, It doesn't work in my brain. It's just like, she is saying no, which is not, therefore you do not have consent. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna punish you then. No, it does not work like that. And she hasn't signed the contract. So, I'm so angry. So he's having sex with her, so and he's like, oh, this is just for me. Like, don't you dare get any satisfaction out of this. This is just for me. Ugh, he's such a disgusting pig. And then he goes, don't touch yourself. I want you frustrated. That's what you do to me by not talking to me, by denying what's mine. She hasn't signed the contract. Guys, I'm so angry. Even when she signs the contract, he's gonna act like this. I'm still gonna get so pissed off about it because it's just fucked up. Okay, so I'm now up to page 373 and they just had sex again. Are we surprised? No. But basically, he keeps saying like, you are mine. Do you understand? And then she's like, yes, I'm yours. And the possessiveness is just disgusting. Like, she's not a piece of meat that you can just own. And like, once again, still has not signed the contract. And then another thing that he asks, are you sore? He asks, leaning over me. And she says, a little, I confess. And then he says, I like you sore. His eyes smolder. Reminds you where I've been and only me. That makes me so uncomfortable. Ew. Okay, so now Anastasia is going to Georgia to visit her mother, and Christian upgraded her to like first class ticket, which she didn't want to do because he offered her his own private jet and she didn't want to take it because she loves to test him, which is one of the things I like about Anastasia is like, she knows he's a control freak and he's so fucked up, and like she constantly does stuff to piss him off, which I live for. And honestly, if I did not have that, I think I would literally give up so much on this book. Like, I couldn't be dealing with it. Like, it would really just annoy me too much. But the fact Anna constantly pisses him off is what I'm living for. So what she basically did is like, didn't want a first class ticket, of course, and he did it anyways because he's just Christian Grey. And so she then was telling him how she got like this massage, like some man and stuff, and like how it was a great massage and like he was touching her body and whatever. And she said it just to piss him off, to make him feel bad for getting her a first class ticket. And it worked because it did piss him off. He says back to her like about doing the massage thing. He goes, I know what you're trying to do, and trust me, you've succeeded. Next time you'll be in the cargo hold, bound and gagged in a crate. Like, that's fucked up. That's not even like sexual or anything. That is fucked up to say you're gonna bound someone and gag them in a cargo crate of a plane. Fucked up. Okay, now I'm just getting really annoyed because I'm on page 418 and Anna is with her mom in Georgia and stuff, and they've been emailing back and forth, her and Christian, and we found out that Christian went to have dinner with Mrs. Robinson. I don't know if that's actually her name, but it's basically this woman that was Christian's dominant when he was like 15 or something, and she was an older woman, which first of all, not legal anyways, but I'm sure they didn't have a contract for that because that's literally illegal. The fact that like they've been emailing and stuff, and she was getting mad that like he went and saw Mrs. Robinson for dinner and stuff, and like obviously she's jealous because you would be like in just any normal situation, you would be jealous there. Like, why would you be going to see her? Like, I obviously know you should have trust, but like I wouldn't be trusting Christian at this point. I don't even know why she's still with him at this point either, but that is besides the point. And then she is like, oh, I'm so angry, and she's like, oh, I need another drink. Like what she says to her mom, I need another drink, because she replied to the email. Then he replies back to the email saying, oh, it's not like that, me going to have dinner with Mrs. Robinson, calm down. And then he just goes, oh, and how many cosmopolitans are you going to drink now? And that's how she knows that he's there. And she looks around and she finds him, and he's literally freaking there. This man is so possessive and it's ridiculous and like so stalkery. Like, how would you find literally the exact bar and everything that she is there? She never mentioned. I just have issues. I really don't like Mr. Grey. Stay calm, Kevin. He's such a hypocrite. Oh, I'm getting so mad. He gets pissed anytime Anastasia does something that she wants to do, like go see a friend. Someone that she has said several times to Christian, he is a friend. She has no sexual relationship with him or anything. They are just friends. She literally just cannot do something and like he gets so mad about it and like stuff like that. And then she brings it up that she gets mad that he went and saw this Mrs. Robinson person, and he says, I haven't had to justify my actions to anyone in the last 7 years. Not one person. I do as I wish, Anastasia. Can Anastasia not do what she wishes to? Okay, now I'm up to page 442, and I just read something that has kind of traumatized me and scarred me. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I really don't want to talk about it in the video. But if you've read the book, or if you just know about the book, all I'm going to say is I read about something to do with a period. And we're not going to talk about it anymore. I feel like that's all we need to say on the matter. And I'm traumatized, I am scarred, and I'm upset. I'll say what I want about Christian Grey as a person, but page 446, go down to the bottom of the page. They're listening to music in his iPod because he's bringing Anna somewhere in Georgia. Like, she went to visit her parents and now she's just spending time with him. But anyways, she is gone for a drive with him and she picks up his iPod to put on music, and she puts on Toxic by Britney Spears. Say what I want about him, but like, the boy has taste in music and we stan. Like, we love a Britney moment. Okay guys, so I have now finished 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James, and I have some thoughts and things to discuss. So the first thing that I just want to say is that I, after reading this, expected this to be a lot worse. Like, I don't know why, but I just thought, and like, I've heard things about this book, and like, I just heard like, oh, the book is just so much more graphic, and like, there's just way worse things, like there's so much stuff they cut from the movie and stuff like that. And to be honest, I didn't really think they cut out much things apart from that period moment. We're not going to talk about that. I just expected it to be a lot worse. Now, having said that, did I enjoy this book and would I say it's an amazing, great book? Absolutely not. And I don't even think I'm going to give this book a rating on a star rating because I genuinely don't know what I would rate this. And I can definitely see how this is like a guilty pleasure and to read and stuff like that. So that's why I don't know what I want to rate it, because like, it is still something that like, it's a guilty pleasure. Like, I can understand, and I personally, I'm like, I wanted to keep reading, but I wasn't enjoying it, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is such an amazing book, but I still wanted to keep reading. So I'm so conflicted about it, like what I would give it as a rating. So I'm not going to give a star rating for this, and I don't think I'll do it for the series. I think I'm just going to tell you what I thought. I'm not going to give it a rating out of 5 stars. Anyways, to conclude how the book wrapped up. Basically, Anastasia came back from visiting her family in Georgia. She ended up getting an internship at a publishing job, where she's obviously going to be working in publishing, which I'm very jealous about. And then she went back to Christian. But basically, they ended up like having, you know, sex and stuff. And then they got to a stage where like, they were just talking about why he likes to hurt her. Like, why does he like to hurt her? But like, we never got to find out why he just likes to hurt people. And he just says that like, he likes to hurt her. It's just the way it has to be. Like, I just have to be able to hurt you. And I'm like, that's so messed up, and like, obviously it's an abusive relationship. And like, Anastasia was saying at the same time, like, why do you have to hurt me? Like, why do you feel the need to punish me? And like, I agree with everything that she was saying. Like, why does he feel like he has to punish her? Like, he's saying that he has feelings and stuff for her, but like, why does he have to punish her? But obviously he has his own inner demons, things that happened to him during his childhood and stuff, and like, everything there. So there is more to it, but like, at the same time, why is he doing this to her? Like, it's just messed up. So basically he ended up saying that I won't punish you unless you say yes. Like, if you say no, I won't do it. And then he basically ended up like, I think hitting her with a belt across a desk or something, like 6 times. And it obviously messed with her and made her emotional. And then so that happened, and then she was like, you know what, I have enough. I can't be this for you because you obviously need to do this. Like, you need to be able to punish people, and I don't want to be punished like this. Like, I don't want that. So I can't give you what you want, and you can't give me what I want, which is just a normal relationship. So she ended up leaving him, and that's where the book ended. So yes, I definitely did not love that book. I think it's very obvious, but yeah, I don't know how I feel. As I said, I expected it to be a lot worse, but it still wasn't good, if that makes sense. So I just don't know. I really don't know. And I feel like this vlog has just been a mess. so I apologize. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts and opinions on 50 Shades of Grey. Of course, this is absolutely no bashing on my behalf towards the author E.L. James. She got her money, she got her coin, like honestly, good for her. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys, and I shall see you all in my next one, but I will be continuing with the series, so I will be reading the sequel, guys, and we shall see how it goes from there. But other than that, I shall see you all next time in my next video. So goodbye, guys.